When you're a YouTuber turned boxer who's built an empire on viral videos, drama, and knocking out opponents in the ring, your bank account is going to look pretty healthy. And by healthy, I don't mean you've just made enough to buy a sensible sedan. No. Jake Paul's net worth is estimated to be around $80 million. And that means he's splashing some serious cash on everything from private jets to custom cars. After all, what's the point of making millions if you can't spend it in the most outrageous way possible? Let's kick things off with the crown jewel of Jake's collection, a massive mansion in Puerto Rico. That's right, when you've had enough of LA and want to dodge the paparazzi while still living like a king, you relocate to a $16 million waterfront estate. But this isn't Jake's first taste of luxury real estate. Back in 2017, Jake and his YouTube crew, Team 10, set up shop in the grandiose Calabasas mansion, one of the first ever content houses. At 15,000 square feet, this $6.9 million mansion wasn't just for vlogging, it was for living like a YouTube king. But in late 2020, after stirring up his usual cocktail of controversy, Jake parted ways with the mansion. He listed it for $7 million, but had to let it go for $6.15 million, a $775,000 loss. That's enough to buy, well, another mansion. After waving goodbye to California, Jake flirted with Miami before ultimately landing in Puerto Rico, where he splurged on a next-level mega mansion. And we're talking mega. This place is so extravagant that even Yadier Molina, the former MLB star who sold it to Jake, was probably wondering what took Jake so long to find it. We're talking about a 12,000 square foot palace, complete with 8 bedrooms, 12 bathrooms, a gym, a swimming pool, an infinity pool that looks like it just keeps going. And of course, a home theater where Jake can probably watch replays of himself knocking people out on the big screen. Oh, and the house comes with its own boxing gym because obviously you can't let your $1 million fist get rusty. This Puerto Rican palace also came with an elevator to save Jake the trouble of, walking upstairs. There's also a wet bar, a dry bar, and a 6-car garage, because Jake's cars need a home too. Speaking of cars, Jake's car collection is as outrageous as his YouTube antics and boxing matches, boasting everything from supercars to monster trucks. Let's start with the Lamborghini Huracan Performante, which costs a cool $350,000. It's the car that says, I can punch you in the face and leave you in the dust, because it goes from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 2.9 seconds. Next up is Jake's Tesla Model X, which for $100,000 is the eco-friendly option in his garage. But let's be real, Jake didn't buy the Model X because he's worried about saving polar bears. No, it's more likely because the eye-catching gull-wing doors, perfect for dramatic entries and exits. This Tesla has been custom wrapped with sandblasted details and carbon accents, making it look like something straight out of a futuristic action movie. Of course, no Jake Paul collection would be complete without a Rolls-Royce Phantom, which set him back around $440,000. Basically, the car you buy when you're tired of people not knowing how wealthy you are. Then there's the Dodge Ram 1500 TRX, priced at $40,000 but with a custom Black Ops edition. This thing has 702 horsepower and looks like it could survive even the apocalypse. Jake's garage also boasts a Toyota Tacoma. At around $50,000, this is his I'm just a regular guy vehicle, but we all know there's nothing regular about Jake Paul. Rounding out the collection is his $600,000 Ferrari SF90 Spider. With a twin-turbo V8 engine and over 1,000 horsepower, this limited edition beauty is a crown jewel of his garage. It's got a top speed of 210 miles per hour, perfect for when Jake needs to make a quick getaway, probably after his next boxing match or social media controversy. But let's talk about Jake's love for the open skies. Flying commercial? Nah, that's for the rest of us mere mortals. Jake prefers to take to the air in a private jet because, of course he does. His Dassault Falcon 900, a tri-jet private aircraft valued at around $38 million, is basically a flying mansion. It's decked out with leather seats, flat screens, and enough room to throw a mid-flight party if the mood strikes. After all, what's better than celebrating your latest win at 30,000 feet? If you think Jake Paul's luxury habits are limited to real estate and cars, think again. This guy's obsession with bling is something to be studied. We're not talking about your run-of-the-mill jewelry store finds here. No. Jake's jewelry collection is worth more than some people's houses. Take his custom-made Problem Child chain, for instance. This beast, flaunting a massive diamond-encrusted glove pendant, cost him a cool $100,000. And because one statement piece is never enough, he's also been sporting an Audemars Piguet Royal Oak chronograph watch, priced at a casual $150,000. When you're Jake Paul, it's crucial that everyone knows exactly what time it is. Your time. Jake's luxury watch lineup doesn't stop there. He also rocks a Rolex Day-Date President, a modest $40,000 piece, and a Richard Mille RM 011 Felipe Massa flyback chronograph. a $250,000 marvel that's more about making a statement than telling the time. After all, when you're raking in millions, does it really matter what time it is? Of course, no Jake Paul shopping spree would be complete without a hefty investment in his boxing career. And by investment, I mean he shelled out a small fortune on the essentials. His custom boxing gloves, for example, cost about $10,000. These aren't just for show, they're designed to ensure every punch lands with style and precision. And let's not even dive into his training camp costs. We're talking top-tier trainers, elite nutritionists, and a whole squad of specialists working around the clock to keep Jake at his peak. His boxing expenses easily run into the millions, but when your cash flow comes from pay-per-view events, it's practically pocket change. Now let's talk about one of Jake's most eyebrow-raising purchases, a multi-million-dollar NFT collection. Yup, Jake's dived headfirst into the digital art craze, dropping a cool $600,000 on a single NFT. Because apparently owning a piece of digital artwork that only exists online is just as important as owning a mansion or supercar. But when you've got millions to burn, why not invest in the future of art, even if it's just pixels on a screen? When it comes to vacationing, Jake Paul isn't just sipping margaritas by the pool, he's making it rain in the desert. Take for instance that one time he reportedly blew a cool $1 million on a trip to Dubai. Yup, $1 million for sand dunes, skyscrapers, and probably a few luxury camels. But hey, when you're Jake Paul, a vacation isn't just a break, it's a blockbuster event. But Dubai was just one stop on Jake's luxury world tour. He also kicked back at Lake Powell and even hung out with boxing legend Mike Tyson. Now that's a conversation I would pay to eavesdrop on. We can only imagine Mike dropping wisdom while Jake tries to convince him to start vlogging. Oh, and of course most of these trips are streamed live for his fans. Essentially, the cash rolls in even while he's chilling in the sun. Must be nice, huh? By now, we've surely established that Jake is as popular in the ring as he is out of it, and his viewers live to see him spend his money on the most outlandish things. Remember the time he decided to flatten a BMW i8, a sleek electric luxury coupe, just for the views? This wasn't some accidental mishap, it was a premeditated act of destruction. He used an armored truck to crush a car worth more than most people's yearly salaries. If you're going to waste money, you might as well make a spectacle of it. Or how about the time he pranked his brother Logan by sending him a pizza so enormous it could have fed a small army? Nothing says sibling love like a 100 square foot pizza. It's all fun until you remember someone has to clean up all that cheese afterward. And let's not forget the time Jake customized his Lamborghini with a Minecraft theme. Yup, this grown man spent real cash wrapping his real Lamborghini in virtual block graphics. Kids might find it cool, but adults? Probably not so much. Jake's love for destruction even extends to his living room, where he's been known to toss his IKEA couch into the flames. Sure, it's a nightmare for the neighbors, but when it comes to YouTube views, apparently, nothing's too outrageous. But we've saved the wildest part of Jake Paul's spending for last. Jake is no stranger to over-the-top publicity stunts, but maybe the most eyebrow-raising was his whirlwind romance with fellow YouTuber Tana Mongeau. Now, most of us have heard of quickie Vegas weddings, but Jake took it to the next level with a $500,000 wedding. A wedding that was just as real as the scripted drama on his YouTube channel. In April 2019, Jake Paul and Tana Mongeau decided to have a Las Vegas wedding just 2 months into their relationship. 6 months later, their happily ever after took a U-turn, and they called it quits, leaving fans wondering if the whole thing was just a publicity stunt with a side of cake. So what exactly did Jake's $500,000 wedding entail? According to his chat with Metro, the big day included a private jet, a reception at the sugar factory, and a custom-made replica of Jon Snow's sword from Game of Thrones. And if that's not enough for you, the whole affair was live-streamed for the low price of $50 a pop, which fans had to cough up. Basically, you spend the price of a decent dinner to watch 2 YouTube streamers, stars, say I do. But not really. Here's the kicker though. The wedding wasn't legally binding. Turns out they didn't bother getting a marriage license. And their officiant wasn't exactly licensed either. So it was basically an expensive cosplay with a fake wedding dress and a real bill. After the inevitable breakup, Jake had some thoughts about the whole circus. In an interview with Entertainment Tonight, he summed it up perfectly. Quote, "We all do things sometimes, and sometimes you end up getting fake married. So I'll leave it at that." Can you believe this guy? Anyway, that's all we have on the YouTube star turned boxer. One thing is for sure. Jake Paul may be a boxer in the ring, but when it comes to spending money, Jake fights in an entirely different weight class.